Project 2025, a conservative agenda for America's future. Welcome to our critical examination of Project 2025, a controversial plan by conservative think tanks for a potential Republican administration in 2025. You might be wondering, why bother discussing this now? 2025 seems distant. But in the volatile world of politics, 2025 is just around the corner. We'll dissect its major themes and potential negative impacts for young adult voters. Presidential Power Up, Level 2025. All right, let's discuss the alarming increase in executive power, which in simple terms is how much control the president has over the government. Project 2025 aims to dangerously expand the president's authority. A lot more of it. Picture the presidency as a character in a video game, armed with all the most overpowered weapons, armor, and even some cheat codes. One way they plan to do this is by allowing the president to appoint more loyalists to key positions within the government. Project 2025 seeks to make it easier to purge career civil servants and replace them with political appointees. The fear here is that this could result in a less effective government, as political loyalty might be prioritized over actual expertise. Building walls, building barriers. Let's dive into the contentious issue of immigration, a topic that has been a source of division in American politics for what feels like an eternity. The plan demands a significant increase in funding for border security, focusing heavily on constructing more walls. Additionally, Project 2025 aims to drastically expand the powers of immigration enforcement agencies. This would make it alarmingly easier to detain and deport undocumented immigrants regardless of whether they've committed any other crimes. The grave concern here is that such measures could lead to severe human rights abuses and the heartbreaking separation of families. Climate change denial is not a river in Egypt. All right, let's dive into the grim reality of climate change, or as Project 2025 might dismissively call it, that annoying topic Al Gore won't shut up about. The plan is to gut funding for renewable energy research and double down on fossil fuel production, ignoring the dire need for sustainable solutions. Critics are outraged, pointing out that this reckless approach blatantly disregards the overwhelming scientific consensus on climate change and could spell disaster for our planet. It's as if they're saying, let's dump this catastrophic climate crisis on future generations and hope for the best. But the harsh truth is, with climate change, later is already here, and the consequences are unfolding right before our eyes. Next up, we're diving into the murky waters of social issues where things can get downright ugly. Project 2025 aims to impose draconian restrictions on abortion, including the potential dismantling of Roe v. Wade. Dismantling Roe v. Wade would be a catastrophic setback. Project 2025 also aggressively targets LGBTQ+ rights, pushing for severe limits on transgender rights and same-sex marriage. It's as if they're saying, remember all that hard-won progress on civil rights? Let's just erase it. Let's dive into the mess that is education, or as Project 2025 cynically labels it, something we should probably be doing something about, but we're not quite sure what yet. One of the more alarming ideas in Project 2025 is the complete elimination of the Department of Education. Instead of a centralized Department of Education, Project 2025 wants to dump the responsibility onto states and local communities. This is part of a broader push for school choice, which sounds good on paper, but is riddled with issues. Critics rightly argue that school choice often ends up favoring wealthier families while leaving low-income students in the dust. It's like saying, sure, you can choose to go to any restaurant you want, as long as you can afford it. And finally, let's dive into the mess that is healthcare, a topic that always stirs up heated arguments. Project 2025's approach to healthcare is to essentially dismantle the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, without offering a viable alternative. Now, Obamacare wasn't perfect, but it did help millions of Americans get health insurance. Scrapping it without a solid plan is reckless, so getting rid of it without a clear replacement plan seems a bit like jumping out of an airplane without a parachute. Dangerous and irresponsible. Beyond Obamacare, Project 2025 also wants to slash funding for Medicare and Social Security, two programs that are crucial for many Americans, especially senior citizens, Critics argue that Project 2025's proposed cuts would devastate the very people these programs are designed to help. So there you have it, Project 2025, a glimpse into a conservative vision that could drastically alter America's future. Remember, Project 2025 is a proposal, not an enacted policy yet. Its implementation hinges on a Republican winning the presidency and choosing to enforce these recommendations. As a young voter, it's crucial to scrutinize these proposals and question how they align with your values and vision for the country's future. The choices you make today will have serious consequences, so choose carefully, my friends, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more critical content.